Ladies and gentlemen, the time is upon us. It is Saturday, December 2nd, 2023. And as we speak, Kiss are backstage at Madison Square Garden, preparing to take the stage for what will be supposedly the final time in their career. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It is a big night in the world of rock, a big night, I would say basically in the world of music in general, with these Kiss shows going on in New York City. As everybody's seen, Kiss had the New York takeover. They had their lights projected onto the Empire State Building. And I got to tell you guys, man, it's been pretty incredible to see a band that's been in the game for so long getting their love and getting their flowers like this. So this is really what is set to be probably my last Kiss stream ever as well, which is sort of a bittersweet feeling. Look, guys, I've been covering this band. What's up, TFT in the chat? Shout out to everybody joining in the live. When I first started covering this band, guys, I was literally 9 years old. I am now 25 years old, and I have been covering this band in one form or another ever since. It's been a huge part of my life, and of course, a huge part of everybody's life who's really followed this group and been part of the lore. And to bring you guys this exclusive, we actually have Jordan, who is at the Madison Square Garden show. Jordan. Here, he's connecting to his audio. Hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
What's happening, Jordan? How you doing?
Doing good, Cassius. Can you hear me?
I sure can, man. Hey, thanks for making the time today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So what's going on? You're currently at Madison Square Garden.
I am at Madison Square Garden. I am getting ready to see Amber Wild and the final Kiss concert of all time.
Wow, that is incredible. You know what, man? I was gonna go, but the show in my city was November 10th, so I figured I would be happy with that show, and maybe try to catch them here. You know, it was definitely incredible, but I gotta say, part of me wishes I was in New York.
Yeah, you should have done it.
I know.
I did the Detroit one with my kid, and he didn't make it through the show, so I had to come to New York and see the real deal.
So you came from Detroit?
Yeah, Michigan.
Wow.
I'm from Grand Rapids, but yeah, I flew in, used some miles, and had to do it.
That's awesome. So how would you describe the scene in the city today with the Kiss takeover and you, obviously tons of people all over the city representing the band?
I did notice a lot of Kiss music playing. I went to dinner at like a high-end bar, which is not where you would expect to hear like a bunch of Kiss music, but they were playing all kinds of Kiss stuff. Everybody walking around with Kiss shirts and Kiss makeup on. The Empire State Building was not lit up, which I was kind of disappointed about, but that was last night, I guess. And yeah, the energy is good. I don't know if you noticed in your city, the band's energy was different in Detroit. Like it was like they were conscious of that being their last time playing Detroit, and it was just different. Like I saw them even like 10 years ago, and they seemed a little tired.
Yeah.
But no, they're like leaving it all out there, and that's kind of what I expect tonight.
Yeah, I found the same energy at the Edmonton show. And I think that they were energized there as well because that was their first show outside of New York City. So then Detroit Rock City as well. They probably had a similar energy, but you've been hearing and seeing the difference.
Yeah. And so the only thing is, I don't know if you agree, but everything I've been seeing, I'm not really expecting any big surprises tonight, which I think is honestly a mistake. Like, right. I think that's pretty stupid, to be honest. It's the very last chance. Like, why hold anything back? But Gene did say they're spending an extra $1 million on this final show. So I don't know what that means exactly, but that's kind of exciting. I guess it's possible, like Ace and Peter live within driving distance. They could come out and do a bow. I would be happy with a bow. Like, exactly. Something, anything. I saw a social media post from Bruce Kulick where he was with Paul, but I don't know how recent that was. And then I also saw one from earlier today where he was in Vegas. So I'm like, well, maybe Bruce isn't coming. With that, I would be anything special. I would be happy with
anything.
You know,
Vinnie Vincent?
Anything.
No.
Probably not going to happen.
Probably not going to happen. I mean, would you? like if you had to give a percentage on how like you think, you know, how likely you think it will be that one of these guys will come, what would the percentage be?
I'm thinking pretty low at this point. I'm thinking 5%.
Yeah.
But it really sucks because there's really no reason that Peter couldn't come out and sing back, even if they were
Right.
worried that he couldn't like play drum, like play along and do well enough at drums. Like there's no reason that they couldn't have him come sing back. No reason at all. So I don't know. It's just kind of silly. But what are you gonna do? I'm gonna enjoy it either way. I'm gonna be in the moment. It's gonna be a great show, and it's kind of a it's a moment in history and rock history. So I'm glad I'm here either way.
100%. What would your reaction be? Let's say Ace and Peter do come out for a song, or even Bruce. What do you think your reaction would be in the reaction of the arena?
I think people would go completely bananas, especially
Yeah.
if it's Ace or Peter. Like if it turned out that they were doing all this mudslinging in the press for like to fake as a fake out or something, and then they came out. I mean, it would just be pandemonium. I think it's going to be on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like, why not? So I guess one part of me is like, if it's going to be on pay-per-view, then why not do something crazy and have Ace and Peter come out and make it a real big deal? And then they'll get a lot more money on the, like, because it'll be available like after today or whatever to buy on pay-per-view. But the other part of me is wondering, they'd be worried that if they do anything different than the normal show, they're too scared that it's going to screw up the timing of the show or like how everything's on, because it's all choreographed based on, there's a click track in Eric's ear for the whole show. And not just because there's tracks, but because there's a video screen and that has to be in time with the music. And
Right.
that's just how it works. So if they bring out a bunch of guys that aren't used to that, and so if they had a week between their last show and this, I might be like, okay, they're going to do something different. But it's only like 2 or 3 days. So
Yeah.
it didn't really give them a whole lot of time to like do anything massively different than their normal set list. So, and I don't know, I didn't look at anything from last night. Did you look at anything from the
I
set list
watched
last
most
night?
of it last night, actually, because a lot of people were streaming it live, so I got to actually see a lot of it. And I mean, it was the same show, but it was a very good show. And they also brought up the fact that they remembered their first time playing the Garden with their parents there. And Gene looked very emotional just listening to Paul talk about that. So it seems like every city they go to, they're definitely going down memory lane. And how can you not, right, at this point?
Right. Yeah, I think I expect emotions. Even if there's not any extra members on stage, like obviously it's going to be like a special show. It can't be like every other show, and so it'll be different in that right anyway.
Yeah.
There's going to be some I don't know, reflections, and it'll probably feel weird to them, and it'll just be interesting to see that because you play thousands of shows, or even like this tour, it's been 5 or 6 years long at this point. Like you go into autopilot, but when it's the last show, you can't be on autopilot because it's you kind of, they have to be on, like right now they're backstage putting on their makeup for the very last time, and they know that, so it's gotta feel weird.
It's
So,
a weird
I don't know.
feeling in general.
Yeah, I'm conscious of that too, and I guarantee they are because they're the band.
Well, listen, Jordan, I really appreciate you taking the time to check in. Last thing I wanted to ask you, we saw this message that said this is just the beginning for KISS that was emailed to some of their most loyal KISS Army members. What did you make of that message? Because we're going to talk about that more tonight throughout this stream.
I did see that. I got that in my my email too, and I don't know. Gene has said something about like there's going to be a KISS show in like 5 different cities, or like there's going to be a KISS in Tokyo and a KISS in Los Angeles, and it's going to be like Broadway kind of. So maybe they're planning something like that. Maybe they're talking about the Netflix movie. I don't know, but most of what I've seen has been pretty consistent. Like they're done. I mean, and there's a lot of speculators, even Ace, that's saying like, I don't know if their touring is done. It's like they're going to be dead at some point. Like,
listen, life has to continue at some. We got to live in reality at some point, right? Even though that's the antithesis of KISS, right?
Right. So I would not be surprised if we saw Gene and Paul do like a a smaller tour or something, and not, or even if they did call it Kiss, but have it not be the big show. Like, I wouldn't be surprised, or Gene does a solo tour, or Paul does a solo tour. I would not be surprised to see that. But I think this is the last like big time fire and makeup tour, or like, the last show.
It is very, very surreal to sit here and think about it. Do you mind if we steal one more look at the arena while you're still here, Jordan? Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square.
How's the attendance? Is it basically sold out for tonight?
Oh, it's absolutely sold out. But I did. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I just took my video off so they could see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is sold out. But I looked at Ticketmaster, and I noticed there's, scalpers are trying to make the most money possible. So I noticed tons and tons of tickets for sale. And so I do kind of wonder if there's going to be pockets of seats open because scalpers are trying to get $2,000 or something and nobody buys it. But either way, it'll be mostly sold out, or it is sold out. Really, Kiss gets all the money, but yeah.
True enough.
There's no way they're not going to sell out Madison Square Garden on their last show ever. So here we are.
Well, Jordan, I really appreciate you giving us some insight into this, man, and I hope you have an awesome time. It's about 10 minutes until Amber Wild, so rock on, man, and really enjoy the show. It should be a really special time.
Thanks, Cassius. Keep an eye on the Facebook. I'll do some live videos and stuff too. And yeah, keep in touch too. It's good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you, man. Really appreciate it, brother. All right, take care. We'll talk soon.
Bye, Cassius.
Peace. Yep. Jordan, everybody, checking in with us from Madison Square Garden, currently on location at the show. Not the last guest we're going to have on the stream tonight from the Garden, guys, so make sure to hit that like button. We're also going to drop the link in the chat to join the conversation. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. If you want to click the link and join the call, I will put you on the Zoom. And make sure to come in. Let's talk some Kiss, man. We got about 1 hour until the concert starts. And we're currently, as I sort of read through you guys' comments, I'm working on patching in somebody else who is at the Garden. It's the last Kiss show ever, guys. You guys knew I wasn't going to just let it go. I'm riding with this band until the wheels fall off. Do you understand me? I'm riding with this band until the wheels fall off. I just sent the Zoom link to our other contact who is currently at the show. Now, it's incredible, man, because we're going to go ahead and pull this up. I'm trying to see, because Kiss said it's just the beginning, which is a confusing thing to me. I want to go ahead and find this post, but for anybody who is a Kiss Army member, they got a graphic emailed to them, and the graphic showed a door opening saying that this is just the beginning for Kiss. Now, what that's supposed to mean, guys, I'm honestly not sure. I want to take you guys' votes, though, and here's the photo. The end is only the beginning. Kiss Army, now is not the time to sleep. Don't miss out. With a door opening. This was a email that was sent out. Now, what do you guys think this could be when it comes to this mysterious door that they're showing? Me personally, I think it might be time for Kiss 2.0. It might actually be the time that this band is going to come out and potentially tour without any original members. Look, this is something that we've heard talked about for a long, long time. And not only something that has really been theorized, but something that has actually been confirmed by the band themselves. Something that has actually been confirmed by the band's management. We've heard Doc McGee say there's going to be a Kiss 2.0. But above that, guys, we've heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Gene and Paul have said, Kiss 2.0, it can go on without us. It's not about us. You know, I don't know if I really agree with that statement, that it's not about the guys and it's mostly about the makeup. I know that that's one of the main things that they try to portray. I know that that's one of the main things that they try to push. And I think the thing is, I understand what they're saying when it comes to the idea that the faces of the members in terms of the makeup is the main thing. because the merchandising can live forever. And there's kids younger than me who don't know the name Gene Simmons. They don't know the name Paul Stanley, but they know Kiss and they know those faces, right? So that I get. But I would say that the majority of the people are probably more so married to the fact that it's Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, not necessarily the Demon and the Star Child. You know, if they didn't have the level of talent that they have, they would not have become the icons that they did in that makeup. So we can't act like they just showed up with the makeup and had no talent, and the makeup is the only thing that blew them up. Contrary to the belief of a lot of haters, by the way. So what do you guys think about the Kiss 2.0 idea? Ben in the chat says, that link on the email is live and you can get a digital certificate for something that gets revealed after the concert. You get a digital certificate. So what's that about? Listen, guys, I'm finding out as you do. We're trying to fucking get to the bottom of this. So let me see if I could find. Okay, look at this. Let's take a look at this. This is on Twitter. So let's see what we got. Kiss pay-per-view exclusive offer. 950 collectible Kiss golden tickets will be available to purchase during the End of the Road pay-per-view only on payperview.com. Don't miss your chance to own a piece of rock history. So what is it, though? Does anybody know what the golden ticket actually is? Or is it literally just a golden ticket? Hold on a second. I'm trying to get Youth Among Us to call in. Yeah, so this is interesting. So the Kiss End of the Road golden ticket box, certificate of authenticity. This certificate guarantees that this 24-karat gold-plated ticket is a limited production collectible and only created for fans attending one of the final 2 shows at Madison Square Garden. Okay, cool. This ain't it, guys. This isn't the one. Okay, let's pull up some video, guys. We're going to pull up some video from last night at the Garden. And we currently have some more people who are going to be calling in as well. So let's take a look at this. So this one here is from our boy Mike. Shout out to Mike Brunn. He has an incredible YouTube channel. He put up this video of Gene and Paul talking about the first time that they actually performed at the Garden. Let's go ahead and put this video up. All video credit to Mike Brunn. Shout out Tom Williams, man. Big shout out to Tom. The band taking their final bow last night at Madison Square Garden.
New York! Would you honor us with a photo? I remember the first time we played here, I could see my mom and dad over there. And I could see Gene's mom over there. And it doesn't matter who you are or how big you get, you just want to make your parents happy. And it was a magical night for us. This is a magical night for us too.
Hell yeah. Goddamn right it's a magical night.
In the from Destroyer.
Damn, Gene does look emotional. I'm seeing a comment here. Gene was getting emotional at this moment last night. The way that he's attentively just listening to Paul and just looking at Paul during this segment, man, it had to hit him too, because Gene did recently lose his mother a couple years ago. I'm not sure if Paul's mother is still around, but Gene lost his mom, and we all knew Gene would get emotional just talking about his mom while she was alive. So, you know, this is obviously a really big moment for all of these guys. I remember listening to the documentaries that Kiss used to do, or even reading their old books back in the day. And Paul Stanley would talk about the fact that he used to be an Uber driver. Not Uber driver, yeah, okay, in 1960, that adds up. A cab driver. Paul used to be a cab driver in New York City, guys. And most of you guys know this. If you're a real Kiss fan, you know this, but whatever. He was an Uber driver. I just said it again, a cab driver. And he would drive past Madison Square Garden, dropping people off at concerts. And he would tell them, I'm going to play there one day. That's what he would tell them. I'm going to play there one day. You know, look, I know the fact that these guys have been famous for 50 years, the sort of shock value that they made it may have worn off for a lot of people. But I still believe you have to give credit where it's due. Because it is an incredible feat to be driving a cab outside of a building and to sound delusional. That's like me telling you guys right now, I'm the next Howard Stern. You're going to tell me, yeah, fucking right, you're the next Howard Stern. But imagine if I popped up in 15 years and I was. That's the equivalent of what Paul did. You just got to put yourself in the shoes of these people. Shout out to Tom in the chat. Shout out to Alex, Rob, Neil. Hey, Neil, what's going on, brother? Shout out to all my Kiss friends, man. It's the final Kiss show. We have some callers calling in here. Of course, we have the Zoom link as well if you want to join the conversation. We're going to take a call in just a moment, actually. Here's some footage of Kiss at the Empire State Building. This was, I believe, 2 days ago during their takeover. And this is video credit to Mike Brunn as well. Got a lot of respect for Mike's content. This is 50 years later, guys. Like, come on. They're taking over the city. Tommy. 50 years. Taking over your city. There's a little bit of the Kiss presentation at the Empire State Building. I'd love if Mike could call in, actually. If anybody knows Mike Brunn, please ask him if he's down to call. But this was cool how they sort of took it over with the music and the lights and the Kiss theme colors, all that good stuff. Really, really cool, man. I got to tell you guys, it doesn't really feel like it's ending because as far as I can tell, Kiss is bigger than they've ever been. It almost feels anticlimactic that they would be ending right now just because they just keep getting bigger and bigger. Youth Among Us, what do you think, man? Is this a strange time for Kiss to end or what?
Oh man, sorry. I'm just getting all this set up here. I apologize how the quality's going, but they're going out with a bang, aren't they? Like some of this stuff almost is.
Oh, might have lost you there for a second.
Oh, are we back now?
We're back in action.
Right. So what I was saying is like they're really taking over and they're sending this off with a bang, man. Like some of this stuff doesn't even look real. Like the pictures on the Empire State Building there. Like I was like, is this really going on or is this just a doctored photo?
Seriously.
And it seriously is going on, and it must be a wild time to be in New York right now.
Man, it's actually otherworldly. Like, you know what's so cool to me is that you haven't seen even rock and roll represented this much in the mainstream culture, I feel like, for a very, very long time. Sure, we have bands like AC/DC, Metallica that are sort of like cultural staples, but it almost feels like they've like surpassed music. As like you'll see them in Walmart on a t-shirt. They're like a brand now. But this is, you know, a band getting recognized for being a band in 2023. It's a pretty surreal feeling.
Well, that's just it. Like we all know that famous quote that Gene had where he said Rock is dead, but he's contradicted himself ever since that, really.
You're so right. We have another caller joining us here. We're going to tap you in. You guys everybody gets one chance, by the way. Don't be putting nothing crazy on the screen or anything.
The rock and roll party tonight, people.
It is a rock and roll party tonight, man. Do we have Daniel? Oh, he hung up. Okay, no Daniel. All right, I guess we're going to continue talking. Of course, guys, we have the Zoom link in the Facebook description and the YouTube description. So if you want to join the conversation and talk some Kiss, guys, make sure to come join. We also have some more callers calling in from Madison Square Garden. So
I want to ask you, what are you looking forward to the most in tonight's set list?
You know what I'm looking forward to, man? I'm looking forward to just seeing the way that the guys take it. I have a feeling that and you can weigh in on this and tell me what you think, but I have a feeling each band member is feeling very differently about ending. I feel like, and here, I'll tell you what I think each guy thinks, and you let me know if I'm off base or not. I feel like Paul is okay with ending at this point. That's what I think. I feel like Paul is ready to enter the next chapter of his life. Gene, on the other hand, I do not think is ready to end it. Let me start with those two. What do you think of that statement?
I agree. And you got to, like, I've been seeing so many different things from over even the past. You got to look at the past 5 years of Kiss, the actions, where they've collaborated, where they haven't. Even Gene has collaborated with Ace. Even Paul has collaborated with Ace. And how dare I bring Ace into the conversation this early?
We're already in it.
But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like those type of things are going to happen so much more than they have, even in the past 5 years, now that they're calling it over. But something tells me that it's really not over.
Well,
I totally agree with you, though. I kind of sidetracked you, but I totally agree that even in the way that Paul condones himself to the media when he does interviews about this tour, compared to the way that Gene has done interviews about this tour. Gene's crying in the interviews.
I know.
Where Paul is really, I feel like, still going for those headlines, going for the final kind of draw.
That's a really good point. So, I mean, at this point, I hate to bring it there, but we're there. Do you think Ace is in the building tonight? Do you think he's going to be in the building tonight, or Peter?
Man, I think Ace's ego is way too big right now, so I'm gonna go with yes. He could be there. Why wouldn't he be? If he wants it about him right now, why wouldn't he be there?
I would agree with that. Let's see who we have on the line. Do we have William? William, do we have you on the line? Wild animals on the floor. Okay.
Let me hear you.
No William, I don't think. Okay. Or maybe he's
We're just going to be talking tonight.
I guess
That's
we're
all
just
right.
going to be talking, man. I'm down to talk.
You know, Kiss has been a podcast conversation for you for how long now? That is something we should really talk.
Yeah, and I mean, literally since 9 years old, man. And that I did sort of touch on that briefly when I first started the stream. I don't think anyone was in here.
I missed the first.
Everyone missed it. Yeah, everyone missed it. But yeah, I mean, literally since the age of 9. And you know what's funny to me too, man? The fact that there are people who are twice our age who have been following this band since they were the age of 9. You know what I mean?
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy you bring up that demographic, because we were talking earlier about how we feel like there's a flip where they more so may be cashing out. They may be feeling like this really is the end for them in that general area, where you and I are really excited to be like, what's next? So there's been a lot of unearthed vintage Kiss shit, whether it's merch, whether it's bootleg videos on YouTube, or whether it's just these unhinged interviews that they do that we've been able to celebrate about.
Oh, it's been insane. Now let me ask you this. Do you think that if Ace Frehley wouldn't have done his whole ultimatum thing on the Eddie Trunk show, do you think that would have increased chances to see Ace tonight, or do you feel like this was never happening and it's just a lost cause?
Well, I when they put the narrative that the farewell tour is the farewell to the original guys and this is the end of the band, it seems weird to bring up Ace or that into the, because they said goodbye once before and now it's like two goodbyes. What are we gonna see you tomorrow? Like that I think causes a lot of the back and forth between, is this really the end? And it better be for the amount they charge
Yeah.
for the pay-per-view. They better
It better
they
be the
better
fucking
end
end
it.
because I already paid. No.
Yeah. It's the end of our bank accounts, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh my gosh, man. I mean, it is crazy to think, but I have to tell you, man, like, as much as I've been on Team Ace and Peter coming back, after I saw the last show on November 10th here, it really solidified in my mind that, like, you just have to think about it from Gene and Paul's perspective. Why would they ever want to mess with this formula when it's working so well? They have sold out arenas, man. They have sold out arenas. They're having fun. They don't have to play with somebody who's late. They don't have to play with somebody who's inebriated. I know Ace is sober now, but guys, this stuff takes a toll on you. And you play in bands, and you're a solo artist as well, so you could probably speak to that. The chemistry in a band has to be there.
Absolutely. And not only the chemistry, like I've heard you say it a lot lately, like this show and the sound and the production is at an all-time high. It seems surreal to see a musician hit that level,
Yeah.
especially in rock and roll right now. And they're setting bars that you see, like these concerts now. I don't know who it was, but I saw like this Buddha-esque stage looking thing the other night. And you see the stuff like where's that place that Travis Scott did? You see these huge stages
Yeah.
that you gotta attribute some of that show to Kiss. It's incredible that they're pulling it right now because it feels like they could go on, I guess, is what it is. It feels like there's more. It feels like they could hit a higher reach. So for this to be the last one, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss that live stream.
No, you definitely don't. I've already, got the pay-per-view lined up. Oh yeah, there we go. So 7 minutes until the beginning of the actual pay-per-view. Now, I wonder if they're going to show Amber Wild or not, because that's, of course, Paul Stanley's son.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. That's Paul Stanley's kids' band. And it's crazy because he always said that he was never the type to put his kids or give them a free ride. But this is a pretty good chance, man. You don't get to open for Kiss on their last show. And they're the only band that's going to be able to say they can.
It is pretty incredible. I did notice, too, that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they start having Amber Wild towards the end of the tour? Like, they didn't have them anywhere near the beginning, right?
Yeah, man. I don't think that Paul was, again, the type to let that happen.
Yeah.
That's a free shot for the media. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. It almost seems like he helped his son sort of do what he has to do. And then, at a certain point, maybe right before he retires, he wants to give him a taste of that. You know what I mean? It seems like he's giving him a taste of what he deprived him from for his own benefit. Because I've interviewed sons of famous rockers. At the end of the day, a lot of them find it harder when their father is helping them. You know what I mean? They find it harder to get respect, when they actually are under the wing.
Imagine how much, like, how it is to start up now and do your own thing. Imagine how much harder it probably is when you have 50 years of people that look up to your father looking down at you. That must be a huge amount of pressure to have to almost settle in with that amount of people.
Yeah, you know what? It actually is interesting, man. You know who we should get is Evan Stanley on the stream. That's who we should get next.
Yeah, shout out to them.
I feel like that would be incredible. Well, man, I would love if you called back in a little bit. I'm probably going to run a couple video clips, and if I do, you won't be able to see it, sadly. But so yeah, let's tap back in a little bit. Youth Among Us, everybody.
Sounds
The
great,
album
man.
is out
Thank you, brother.
everywhere. My Life in Bird Years. Stream it now. You understand me?
We're gonna be watching the show, brother. Rock and roll.
Love you, brother. Rock and roll. It's a rock and roll party, everybody. Nova Scotia, Canada, in the house.
Look, it's rock and roll.
It is rock and roll, baby. Listen, Kiss, guys, it is 5 minutes. 5 minutes on the timer until the official stream starts. Guys, I have people calling in from the Garden. I had somebody call in earlier in the stream. I have another caller calling in just a couple of minutes who was at Madison Square Garden at the last show. I am not trying to go to jail or get sued or frankly take money out of Kiss's pocket. So I'm not streaming the show here. That is illegal. And, you know, Kiss doesn't deserve that. So I'm not doing that. But I'm trying to bring you guys all the coverage that I can do. Shout out to Steve Manning. That was Nova Scotia. He's in New Brunswick. Shout out to New Brunswick. You know what's amazing? I was there on Friday and thinking, my God, this stage was set up in Baltimore on Wednesday. And they could pack it up and drive it and set it in 24 hours or less. Well, the Kiss stage at this point, me in the chat, is, I mean, guys, when you look at the scale of the stage that they have, and you guys can go watch my video from when I was at the show. It's on my channel. I have 2 videos from my show. The scale of the stage that they're bringing, it's like Kiss land. Like, it's like you're in a Kiss universe. They have the big figures of the guys on the sides of the stage, the big inflatables. You know, it's unbelievable. Yeah, Emmy, I'm so sorry. I would love to stream the concert for you guys. I really would love to do that, but I will get in serious trouble and I would lose my channel. So it's just not right. You know what I mean? I really would love to do that for you guys, but I can't. You know, that's ultimately, like, that's where we're at right now. Steve says he saw the Quebec show 8th row for only $168. Wow. $168 8th row in this economy? Do I like Kiss? No, never heard of him. Never heard of him, Paulie. Okay, we have another caller. Do we have Rob? What up? Okay, he's connecting. My man's he's putting the pieces together here. Kiss as if they were Greek gods. Yeah, that's what the statues look like. Kiss 2.0 announced after tonight, says Juan. Juan, I have no idea. If they did it right after tonight, though, that would be pretty crazy. No luck, Rob? I can't hear you. Oh. I won't let him connect to audio, hey? That's too bad. Well, maybe try and call us back, brother, on your desktop or something. Well, we'd be happy to. I'd love to chat with you. Okay, brother. Trying to get some callers on here, guys. Again, we do have Kyle Hershon, who is going to be calling from the Madison Square Garden. That is coming up in a little bit here. Favorite Dawkins album? Oh, man, that's tough. Favorite Dawkins? I don't know. Mickey D, probably. Anything with Mickey D. Can I transmit the show? Oh, no, I cannot. We're going to pull up some more video from Kiss at Madison Square Garden last night, guys. The final show. I got to tell you guys, though, I'm starting to really, really wonder what the hell they're talking about with this thing that they're saying it's just the beginning for Kiss on their website. What does that mean? How is it just the beginning for Kiss? I truly don't get it. Oh, look at this. My camera's fucking around now. So let's pull up this video here. People were doing it for Taylor Swift and did not get in trouble. No, I understand, Alexis, but it's a pay-per-view, meaning if you stream a pay-per-view, you are taking money out of a business's pocket, which is illegal. Technically, it's illegal to even stream a regular concert, but the difference is nobody cares. Like, nobody's going to pursue that. But again, guys, it's very different to stream a concert than it is to stream a pay-per-view. That is legally bound. So, got this clip here from CBS. What's this?
That wasn't that bad, right?
If you guys are liking the stream so far, make sure to hit that like button, man. I really appreciate you guys being here. This is what could potentially be my final Kiss stream ever, guys. This is a really special night for me and for everybody in the Kiss Army. It's sort of melancholy tonight. I'm feeling it, and I'm feeling the love. But this is a big night for us, man. This is a real big night for us. So, like I said, I started here with the band in my career, personally in my broadcasting career, and I'm going to end with the band because they gave me my start. So it's only fair that I end with them. What up, Chappie? Okay. Alexis, trust me, I'm on your side. The only difference is if I stick it to the man will stick it to me by deleting my YouTube channel. So if you want to risk your YouTube channel and you want to pay for it and you lose your channel, by all means, go ahead and stream it. But I'm not losing my YouTube channel for you, Alexis. So I don't know who you think you're talking to, but it's definitely not me.
Look, it's rock and roll.
I don't know who you think you're talking to. Let's check out this clip.
Road tour is happening Saturday in New York City. After forming in 1973 and touring for decades, the legendary rock band says they're wiping off their makeup, hard to believe, for good. Steve Waxman joins us now. He's a professor of music at Smith College. Steve, the group held a previous farewell tour in 2000, so is this actually the end of the road?
I think that's anybody's guess. I mean, coming back from retirement is a well-worn tradition in rock and roll at this point. The Who and any number of other bands have done it more than once. And it's good for business to announce your retirement and then come back. So I think right now, Gene and Paul and the other members of the band are meaning it. They're going away on a high note. But I would not be shocked, and I think there's reason for some healthy skepticism that they might come back in 3, 4, 5 years if their health and everything holds up.
Right. So look, they've been around for years. They're still selling out big time. So what is it about this group that's given them such longevity?
I mean, they write great songs. They have written great songs throughout their whole career, and especially songs of theirs from the 70s, like Wanna Rock and Roll All Night. I mean, there's not a better party anthem in rock history, I think, than that song. They really pioneered what the rock concert could be. They made the spectacle.
That's a fact.
Much of an
Like we just
attraction
said, guys, there's, Kiss DNA in every show. That is a fact.
as the sound, and they put the two together in a way that was really groundbreaking. And I think also with their alter egos, with the makeup, they just embodied the extent to which rock and roll is a space where you can go and reinvent yourself. And I think they made their fans feel empowered to be able to do the same. And that's why they've had such a loyal following over all these years.
Yeah, and they've been bringing in sort of the live stream component so that even if you can't get there, right, you can have that concert experience, which is very cool.
Very cool. And, on some level, this is something that's been around for a while. I mean, back in the early 80s, I remember when The Who had their first farewell tour, I paid for pay-per-view and watched it as a little 14-year-old, and I was very excited about that. But I think the pandemic has made it a lot more obvious that there's something really to be said for being able to access a great event without having to actually be there. And you think about things like the live simulcast of the Metropolitan Opera and things like that. Rock has an aging audience. A lot of folks don't necessarily have the wherewithal to be able to get to every show they want to get to, but they still want to have some of that experience. And live streaming is a great way to keep that going.
Little Kiss story from CBS News today. We're going to pull up this other clip here, guys. We're just watching a couple clips until our next caller comes in. And we, of course, have Kyle Hershon calling from the Madison Square Garden. And it's going to be really cool to hear how the atmosphere is now. Obviously, we just talked to Jordan earlier in the stream. But it's going to be cool to see how the atmosphere is now that they're almost about to hit the stage for the last time, guys. I would assume it's going to be a little bit different. Probably, more energetic vibe, I would assume. Let's take a look at this. Little clip from Jim.
Everybody knows you can't.
Oh, YouTube took ad block off.
Gene Simmons is here and chewing gum, and has just pointed out that some chewed gum has been auctioned off at a ridiculous amount of money.
It's not ridiculous. I'm kind of a big deal.
No, he's not serious. Is Gene serious?
How much was the amount?
$345,000.
$245,000.
200.
Is that true that Gene sold gum for 200? Hold on a second. No. Gene Simmons sells gum? That can't be real. Please don't be real. Gene Simmons chewing gum auctioned for Oh my gosh. Come on.
How, Sway?
Gene Simmons chewing gum auctioned for over $245,000. That's just sad. That's just sad. What the fuck? Okay. I could have slept comfortably tonight without knowing that information.
Short by the NFL, the American football thing, to come and sing the national anthem at Wembley. And we are
not me necessarily, but
we are finally going on the final go-round. You have to have a little pride and self-respect, know when to get off the stage. It's been half a century, and boy, do I look good. We've been doing this an awfully long time, and can't tell you how.
Hang on a second. We have a couple callers on the line. Who do we got on the line? Let me try and patch in with some callers here. Do we have Zepp? No Zepp. Okay, I guess not. Let's see if we have Rob. Yellow.
Cassius, can you hear me?
I can, Rob. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing? Sorry about earlier.
That's okay, brother.
Glitches,
Man, feeling phenomenal over here, dude. It is I don't know how to describe tonight. It's a big night, I would say, for the whole community right now. It's quite a feeling. How are you feeling about the final show at this moment?
If I'm being honest, I'm pretty sad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to cry if I'm being honest. Like, this is such a huge part of my life, and I'm sure like yours, it's a bit emotional. I mean, I'm bummed I'm not there, but with all the cancellations, I'm kind of glad that I didn't commit to tickets. It's a lot of money and a lot of time. Some people can do it. I couldn't do it this time. So.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
I saw him
couldn't
earlier
either
on the tour.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him here in Denver, on the end of the road tour. And then I believe they canceled that next date because Gene had, what did he have? Gallstones.
Okay, yeah. So this was a while ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah, a couple years. So, are you there? Yeah,
yes, sir.
Sorry, lost you there for a minute. But anyway, man, I'm probably not going to have a good connection here, but I wanted to give you a shout and just tell you I appreciate you doing this. I know a lot of people, are feeling emotional about it one way or another, and don't believe that it's really going to end. But I think with Paul being sick, it's kind of a cue,
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fairly decent point. I think that it's at least nice the fact that they're going out with so much love, and they're not going out with people saying, all right, guys, hang it up. So that, at least to me, is a silver lining. But, I think you're right. It's time, man. And it's sad for me to say. And I'm not going to act like I didn't shed a tear at my last show. You know what I mean? I definitely did. So I wouldn't blame you tonight either,
Well, it was kind of cool to see Paul give a shout out to his parents and Gene's mom, Flora.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool. So you
absolutely.
can tell like it's an emotional moment, but it's bittersweet without Ace and Peter. It'll be interesting to see if they acknowledge the past members, especially Bruce Kulick. People that have contributed so much to the band, like Bruce, that he's been a team player. So I just wonder if they'll just do the regular show and that'll be it, or there's got to be like at least a video montage or something. I would hope for the other guys. What do you think?
You know what? Honestly, I think it's going to be all or nothing. I really feel like we're either going to get the guys or we're just going to get the regular show. I can't really see it being halfway. And it's kind of like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame situation. That's really what I would compare it to. It's like you're either going to get the performance or you're going to get nothing. I don't think you're going to get an in-between. So that's sort of the way I'm looking at it right now.
Did you see Peter did a radio interview? And
yes.
He took the high road. Yeah.
Yes. I'm actually,
cool.
I'll pull that up, Rob, because I think that he made a really nice comment there. And it's nice to see him going the opposite of Ace when it comes to his approach with that, right?
Well, you can't blame Ace. He's got a new album dropping, and the publicity he's going
Right.
to he's going to get more publicity if it's negative than positive. And I'm not saying that's why he's doing it, but speaking of that, I actually like the new song. I kind of have had mixed emotions about his Monarch / E1 releases, and but that one, the new song's pretty cool.
Now, in terms of a new song being performed tonight, you don't sound overly hopeful of the Ace situation, or even an old song.
Who knows? I mean, I read the set list. They did Psycho Circus, so that was a surprise. I mean, considering it's the last two shows, right?
Yeah, that's true, honestly. Well, listen, Rob, I appreciate you checking in, man. Are you going to be watching the pay-per-view?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's sort of starting to begin, or they're doing a pre-show now, so we'll probably switch over to it. But it's good to actually talk with you, brother.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. And I appreciate you doing what you do, man. And everybody out there, I've got a lot of Kiss content on my channel as well if you guys want to check it out. And I'll talk to you soon, Cassius.
Awesome, brother. Thank you for your time, man. Take care.
All right.
Rob, everybody. Rob Benjamin Music. Make sure to go and check him out on the old tube. The old YouTube. It is the final Kiss show in history tonight, my friends. This is a big deal. I don't know exactly what to expect, guys. We're hearing a lot of speculation from people. Some people are saying that it's going to be a whole big band family reunion. Some people are saying we're not getting squat. But guess what? If we're not getting squat, and that ends up with like the show that you're already getting, that's a pretty good amount of squat. You know what I mean? The show that you're getting, even if there's no original members that are no longer in the band, at least the good news is you guys are going to get a phenomenal show tonight either way at Madison Square Garden. But I do know that there's a lot of people holding on to hope for some of these guys, whether it's Ace, even Bruce Kulick, or, Peter, whoever, to come up on stage. The other thing I'd like to see, because Rob just mentioned a video montage, and I think a video montage could be a pretty decent way to sort of bridge that gap. But if they were to do that, I really would like to see something for Eric Carr and for Mark St. John. I think if they don't do something, at least a little thing for Eric Carr tonight, that would just be a shame. I'd love to see them put up a picture of the Fox. I'd love to see them do that. And I'd be lying if I didn't admit that I'd love if they brought up Ace and Peter. But guys, I know that ship has sailed, okay? I've asked Gene personally about it. His answer to me was, that's not going to happen. So, that was the response. That's so far the verdict that we've had. And I don't think that's necessarily going to change tonight. But either way, it is a big evening in the world of Kiss. It is a big evening in the world of rock music, period. And we are saying goodbye to one of the biggest and most influential bands in history. When it comes to influential American bands, Kiss is probably number one. You know, I cannot think of a more influential American band. When you actually talk about influence, and I had this conversation with JJ French of Twisted Sister when I had him on for an interview here on the channel. And he really told me there's probably no guitarist, at least from America, who has ever inspired more people to pick up a guitar than Ace Frehley. And honestly, guys, that's a fair point. You know, there really has never been a band like this that has had this type of impact. And I do think it's because they impact everybody. They impact families. They impact teens. They impact kids, parents. It's a generational thing. The Kiss thing is a generational thing. Tom, let me know if Kiss is on. Are you saying Kiss is on right now, Tom? Cassius, it isn't a goodbye it isn't goodbye, it's a farewell to touring. Okay, I could buy that. They'll be touring again, just wait 18 months, says James. James. Come on, James. That's funny. I mean, look, at the end of the day, the funny thing is,
look, it's rock and roll.
I wouldn't even be mad at it. I genuinely would not even be mad if they decided to do it. What a beautiful thing. You know, what a beautiful thing to be in a situation in your career where people don't want you to retire, man. I mean, that is really something to me. You look at a lot of these bands today, people are begging for them to retire. Looks like we have a couple callers on the line. Let's see who we got. Who do we have on the line? Everybody who calls in is just hanging up. I don't know what that's about. If you guys want to join the conversation, I'll put the link in the chat on Facebook and YouTube, guys. We want to talk some Kiss. Do we have HD or Axel on the line on Zoom? I guess not. I think people are getting cold feet. They call in and then they end up hanging up. I'm not entirely sure. We do have a caller calling in, guys, pretty soon again from Madison Square Garden. I'm just trying to make sure oh, here he is now. All right, guys. We are going live to Madison Square Garden where we have the man himself, Kyle Hershon. What's up, brother? How the hell are you? We can barely hear you, but show us around, man. Show us what you got. There we go. There we go. Oh, fuck, brother. It is loud in there. I wish we could hear you, but it looks like an incredible energy, man. If you maybe just want to show us around for a couple more seconds, we would appreciate it. Let's go. There we go, man. This is one of the #1 Kiss fans in the world, by the way. Kyle Hershon, live at the Garden. He's going to try something.
Chris Angel just showed up.
Chris Angel, I can hear you now.
Chris Angel.
What the fuck? Chris Angel is at the final Kiss show, ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, that happened.
Bro, why is Chris Angel there?
What's that?
What's Chris doing?
That looks like they're having an interview segment. It's like a red couch and stuff.
Holy shit.
Like they're making a whole show out of it.
That's so cool. How long does Kiss have until they get on stage?
They will be on at 8:45 tonight.
8:45 tonight. And have you seen any other stars there? Is Ace in the building?
Yeah. I'll see something's happening because they've updated with the balloons. They put there are more balloons than I've ever seen them do before.
No shit. So do you feel like there's going to be a special segment tonight?
Something's happening. I don't know what.
Do you think it'll be a special segment?
There's got to be a special, at least one or two. I don't know.
Absolutely impeccable.
So all I know is that it's going to be nuts in the next half hour.
Well, Kyle, we'll let you enjoy your night, man. Thank you for giving us a look. I really appreciate it, brother.
Be well.
You too, brother. Take care, all right? Kyle Hershon on location at the Kiss concert. So this is a big scoop, guys, for the people who aren't there. Because, look, I'm equally excited. I'm a fan, too. So they have a interview setup going on out in the audience where they're interviewing people, I guess a celebrity as well. And basically, it looks like Chris Angel is there. Very, very cool. Let's add a couple other people in here, man. Let's see who's down to join the conversation. Who do we have? Sabrina, hello. Isn't Chris Angel a personal friend of Paul? Yes. As far as I know, he is, sure. Let's try to patch in with some other callers, guys. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think. Got a ton of people calling in, guys. And yeah, this is starting to get exciting now. It looks like this is a very, very different setup from the average Kiss shows that have been going on. Do we have a caller on the line? Interesting. Maybe I'll give people a second to try to get their audio set up. We got iPhone connected. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm a fox now. I'm Pico.
What'd you say? Okay, that's very strange. Very, very strange. I don't think it was such a good idea to make this open call-in link. We got some weird shit going on here on the line tonight, but that's okay. Maybe we're done with these random callers. I'm just gonna kick everybody out, honestly. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was the Ghost of Christmas Past and shit. I don't know what that was supposed to be. All right, guys. Well, I don't know what else to tell you. What if Vinnie Vincent shows? What if Vinnie Vincent shows? That would be very interesting. That would be very interesting. If Vinnie Vincent was to show up at tonight's show, let me tell you guys this, and you guys tell me if I'm off base or not. I would honestly say that we have a higher chance of seeing Vinnie Vincent at this show than we have of seeing Ace Frehley at this show. Paul does not like that guy no more, man. I don't think Paul likes Ace anymore. And I can't say I blame him.
Look, it's rock and roll.
Look, if a guy went on a fucking radio show and he gave me an ultimatum, I would have reacted exactly the same way that Paul reacted to Ace. I would have called him and told him to go fuck himself, just like Paul did. We have to remember, guys, the only reason we don't have any issues with Ace and Peter is because Ace and Peter haven't fucked us over. That's the main thing you have to remember. And I'm sure Paul and Gene have screwed them over equally. That's cool. But for us to sit here and say, we want Vinny back, we want this guy back, we want that guy back, we weren't screwed by them. That's what people forget. And I'm trying to remember that. You know, so at the end of the day, I think Gene and Paul are completely within their rights to not want them back. But I also understand why Ace and Peter want to be back. Guys, I've already answered if I'm going to stream the show a number of times. I am not streaming the concert because that is illegal. So stop tapping. What do you mean tapping? What does that mean? Exactly. Ace has shown who he is the last couple of years. Insufficient data, Star Child. Unbelievable. I'm telling you, man. It's going to be cool, though. If they were to bring Ace and Peter out, I wonder what songs they would do. That's the one thing I'm wondering. But that's pretty much the end of the report, guys. I'm going to go watch the pay-per-view. Aaron, I'm not yapping, bro. Get your money up. Go buy the pay-per-view. Get your money up, Aaron. Don't blame me. It's not my fault you don't have the pay-per-view, brother. That's your fault, dog. That's your fault. But I love you guys. I wanted to come on. I wanted to give you guys as much content as I could before the pay-per-view. If I could legally stream this for you guys, I would do it. I literally would. But guys, I will lose my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is one of the main parts of how I support myself. And unfortunately, nobody's going to be there if my channel is lost. So I would love to do you guys a solid, but I'm not going to like help people out at my own expense. I'm not going to do something illegal. I'm not going to do that. So hopefully everybody finds the show. I hope you guys get to see it, and I hope you guys have a phenomenal time. Have a great night, everybody. Take care. The Final Kiss Show.